Good morning, people. I'm Greenstone Lobo, scientific astrologer, and you're watching me on YouTube Live, and I'm going to be talking about the various ascendants. I'm talking about actually various ascendants and how is it going to be for you in this year. So we are going to be starting today. We've already done six ascendants, and we're going to be doing the rest of the six ascendants. And today we'll talk about three of them, which is Libra Ascendant, the Scorpio, and Sagittarius. So these are the three that we're going to talk about. And remember that we are talking about the ascendants. This is not exactly similar to the sun sign that you think about. Okay, this is not the sun sign. This is about your ascendant. If you don't know what your ascendant is, ascending zodiac sign. Okay, it is very different from your sun sign or your moon sign. And how do you know it? You go to greenstonelobo.com. There you will see the birth detail. I mean, there is something called as free horoscopes. Enter your key in your birth details there, and when the chart comes out, there is planetary details. Under the planetary details, there is something which will be mentioned as ASC, that is ascendant. And against that, you will find the zodiac sign which is mentioned, and that is your ascending zodiac sign, or the ascendant, or the rising sign, or the lagna. Okay, so now as you know what it is, if your ascendant is Libra, then we are going to be talking about Libra. Okay, so we're going to talk about Libra ascendants first. And I want to say something here. Okay, if you're going to be putting up anything here, any kind of a comment which is about anything else, like the current events or who's going to win what, or if you're going to put up something about your own birth chart, I'm not going to be answering that. Okay, please remember, this is a live video. This will be remaining there. Though it's a live video, it's going to be remaining there, and it is for people to come and watch this who have missed it. And there shouldn't be a lot of interruptions. I don't want any of those interruptions. And also one other thing is that let's do everything at the right forum. Okay, so please ask questions at the right forum. Okay, so yes, let's get started now. I'm going to talk about the Libra ascendant. The Libra ascendant people would have had in the last decade or so, they must have had a lot of worries and frustrations about finances, money. The money is one thing which would have been really, really giving them a pain. Okay, now one thing that you need to remember is that whatever I'm going to be telling you now is initially it is about the general predictions. Then there are certain set of people with whom it's going to be exactly opposite, or the converse will happen. So I'm going to also show you those kind of people for whom it is going to be converse. Okay, so people, especially the people with the Uranus and the Pluto in debilitation. So we're going to talk about that. So let's get started with Libra. Libra people have been having a very not so very good years in the last decade or so in terms of money. Okay, and there is also a lot of worries and frustrations that they've been going through. And I would say that this is one year where most of their frustrations, most of the unhappiness that they've been going through will go away from their lives. Okay, so the monetary part is going to look better for the Libra ascendant people this year. And also something very, very important that is going to happen is there's going to be a lot of focus on the personal life. So what it means is that the family is coming into focus. So there's going to be a lot of things that is going to happen in the family. So people who are, I mean, when I say family, home means what? You can buy a new property, you can buy, a new home, something about the family business. If at all you are into a family business, then you can expect something very positive to happen. And also, if you are a person who wants to go, doing your own thing, being a boss of your own, being a boss in your own right, or being an entrepreneur, this is the year. All Libra ascendant people who have always been thinking about, like, I want to do something on my own, I would say that this is that year. Okay, just go ahead and just do it, is what I would say. Okay, yes, but at the same time, there are some people who have Pluto in a weaker position. Okay, so if you're born in these years, you may have your Pluto in weaker positions. Okay, carefully look at these years. Yeah. So if you're born in these years, then Pluto becomes a little weak. And then in that case, you need to be a little careful about doing your own business. So don't do your business if you're born in these years. Okay. And also what can happen is that for people who are born within these years, your Pluto is weak. So what can also mean is that there could be a lot of worries connected with your family. So there could be a lot of worries connected with home. So there is something about the mother which can give you some sort of a worry or a frustration. There is something about the family which could be an irritant. So yeah, so it can be a challenge. So you need to manage your home. Now, another thing that is going to be coming into focus in a big way for the Libra Ascendant people is the relationship. Okay, the seventh house is very, very powerful. It rules relationship, and there could be some sort of a love or a romance which can come up in your life. There could be something very, very interesting. You can meet someone, with whom everything clicks, and you feel that yes, this is the person to go. So there could be love in the air. There could be romance. There could be marriage. Yeah. So all of you who have been, thinking of getting hitched, I would say that this is that year. It can even mean, it can be a whirlwind romance at some point of time, and then which can even lead to something positive and maybe something which is even leading to a proper legal, okay, wedded. It's not going to be just about the romance, but it can even lead to something more concrete and more stable, which is the marriage part. Okay, so that is going to be good for people. And if you're people who are into any kind of a field where you are into arts, creativity, fashion, legal, if you are into law, if you are into any kind of a work where you have to influence other people, politics, then this is going to be a fantastic year. Your fame and popularity is only going to go up, and people are going to really love you for the work that you do. Okay. Yes, at the same time, I also need to talk about some people who have Uranus in weak position. So if you are born in these years, okay, so look at these years. If you're born in these years, then your Uranus is going to be a bit weak. Okay. So in that case, then it becomes a bit of a challenge. So if your Uranus is in a weaker position, then you need to be a little careful in these matters. Probably you may, some of your relationships can give you some sort of a trouble. You may have some sort of a worry connected with a sibling or maybe a relative, or it can even mean a relationship at home with your spouse. And some of you people may be actually going through the opposite thing where, even there could be some sort of a separation from your family, or I wouldn't be surprised if it also leads to some sort of a even more, challenging aspects like divorce. Okay, but if you're planning to go the legal way, and you know that there is going to be a legal battle which is going to is going to be the one way forward, then I would say that you need to go a little careful because the odds are against you. If you have a Uranus weak, okay, then and if you're a Libra Ascendant person, then the odds are against you. So you winning, your chances of winning becomes low. So you need to play your cards very, very carefully, or you may get into some sort of a trouble with opponents, okay, because the opponents are stronger. They are stronger against you, and you are going to have trouble in that. Also, be very, very careful with people at workplace. Your relationship at workplace has to be monitored very, very clearly, or there is always a chance that you may get into some sort of a trouble. So be very careful about that. Okay, relationships you need to be careful about for people who have Uranus in a weaker position. Okay, see, understand the distinction. If you have a strong Uranus, you will do well in that area. If you have a weak Uranus, you will not do well in that area. That is distinction to be understood. Okay, now this is about Uranus and Pluto. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the other three bodies, okay, which are also in strong positions. So monetarily, as I said, it's going to be a good year for you this year. It's going to be fantastic. Monetary wise, you can expect something positive to happen. You can even get money from abroad. Okay, if you're doing some sort of a business which is connected with a foreign country, then probably you can get the money coming in. Okay, but I would also caution you in one thing that always be a little careful about the money dealings. You may have some sort of a if at all you're going to go anything speculative, Okay, you need to be careful. And also there can be some irritants where, the money, you're putting in a lot of efforts, the money is not coming in, there's a lot of challenges happening. You have to overcome those irritants. It may happen. That is one thing that's going to be common for all Libra Ascendant people. And mind your health. Okay, so there is a planet weakly placed in your chart. You need to also mind your health in this year. Okay, so that is about the Libra Ascendant people. Okay, so now let's get started with the next zodiac sign, the next ascendant, and that is Scorpio. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the Scorpio Ascendant people. So let's see how is it going to be for the Scorpio Ascendants. So now, okay, so how is it going to be for the Scorpios? Okay, now let me talk about the Scorpios. The Scorpios people, poor guys, they have been going through a lot of challenges. Okay, in the see, don't please suggest me as to which planet I need to be talking about, because I know which planet is the most important planet and I'm going to be talking about them. I'm not going to be taking a specific name and talking. I'm going to be talking in general. This is not for people who are learning astrology. This is for people, this is for common people. Okay. So for common people, I'm telling this. So don't please, suggest me what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about the Scorpio Ascendant people. The Scorpio Ascendant people in the last decade or so have been through a lot of challenges in terms of two things. Okay, one is their personality. Somewhere in the last decade, they have lost themselves. Their individuality has been lost in the last decade or so for the Scorpio Ascendant people. And the Scorpio Ascendant people also have not been, some of the Scorpio Ascendant people also have not been financially very, very productive in the last decade or so. Even at least in the last 5 years, it has been tough for you. So financially, there has been a lot of irritations, and you're also not able to grow as a person. So this has been the major concern for the Scorpio Ascendant people, and many a times you've been, brooding over it, mulling over it, and thinking as to why is it so? Okay. Now the reason is because you had a planet which was very, very weakly placed in that space, and that is the reason you had to go through what you had to go through. Okay. Now there is a very, very powerful planet which has moved into your third house. Third house means a mind. Third house means thinking. Third house means communication. Okay. So now is the time for you to actually start doing. If at all there is any, if at all you're feeling stuck in any kind of a position, or if you're feeling that you need to actually spread your wings and fly, I would say that this is the time for you to do that. Yes, the results may take some time to show, but then this is the time to start. Okay. And what all can you do? You can do anything like, use your tongue. So learn any kind of a work where you can use your tongue, like, talking, teaching, training, advising, consulting, coaching, guiding people, So all of it can be in any domain, it doesn't matter. But you can do any of these things, which can start giving you some sort of a monetary gain. And for some people, it can also mean that the planet moving into third position also means that you may get into some sort of a strategic position. So which means that you can be actually promoted, you can be elevated, you can go to the next level, you can be the boss, and you are the one who's going to be in charge of strategy, and you're going to be creating those interesting ideas, which people are going to understand from you. So you can be doing a lot of cerebral work. So whatever is coming in your mind, something interesting, something fascinating, this is a very good time for you to write. If you want to write, this is a very good time for you to learn if you want to learn something new. Okay. So this is a good time for you to learn, good time for you to teach. A lot of good things you can be doing at this point of time, because the planet is gone into your third house. Okay. But at the same time, of course, I also need to talk about this people who have Pluto, okay, in a weaker position in their charts. Okay. Look at these years. So people who are born with Pluto in a weaker position in your chart, unfortunately, okay, may go through a lot of mental worries, mental frustrations, unhappiness, worries. There could be a lot of like I mean, if the person is a child, like 2006 plus, then the child is not able to concentrate, and has to think hard, and probably there is some sort of an addiction. Probably the person is involved into is not able to have a stability in thinking. The mind is continuously vacillating, confused. All of those things can happen. Okay, you're not able to think logically. All of those things can happen if you have a Pluto weak in your chart. So exactly the opposite. Yes, people who are born in the 58 to 61, what it means is that there will be a lot of obstacles coming your way, but you can still fight it out. Okay, fight it and come out of it. You can do that. Okay, you have it in you to do that. Gray lizards don't get anything very easily. You'll have to fight it. Okay, and I'm sure you will do it. And that is one aspect. And the second one is that the Scorpio Ascendant people are going to get a lot of work. You are going to be getting a lot of work, and so a lot of money can come your way. The money can come your way, but so it will start flowing. So first of all, you get a lot of work to do, and the work can involve a lot of meticulous work. Maybe it's based on numbers, data, or maybe it will involve a lot of technology, technical work. So it can be a very mundane work. It can be a very mundane. Small work that you have to do, but then it's okay. At least somewhere you're starting. That is important. And another thing I want to say is that there is going to be a lot of things at home which is going to keep you busy. Okay, so there is also a focus on the spouse. So probably the spouse is doing something, okay, where you have to support her or him, okay, and they need you, okay, and you need to be there for them. And there's going to be a lot of focus on the family and the home. Probably it can happen that you may get an opportunity to probably buy a new property, okay, or you can shift to a new place, or so there is something about the home which is something very, very important. Maybe something happened, your child needs some help, or your mom needs help, or there is something in the family that is happening which you need to take care of. So a lot of domestic chores becomes very, very important for you in this year. Okay. And one more thing, of course, is that people who are born in these years, so people who have Uranus in weaker positions these years, okay. So what this can mean is that, if you're a person who is having these things, if your Uranus is weak in your chart, okay, then what it means is that for you, the challenges are going to be even more in terms of domestic work, okay. So yeah, there's going to be and also probably there is something about your health also, which may require a continuous monitoring, because the planet is there in the 6,000. 6,000 means a lot of, you need to take care of your health. You need to take care of your body. The body needs constant attention. You need to, monitor it. You need to go and take the proper medical help, experts help wherever required. And probably the family is undergoing some sort of a challenge. So earlier it was opportunities. Okay, there could be a lot of challenges that your family is going through, and probably you need to guide them, help them come out of all of those things. And maybe you will be required, your expertise or your presence would be required to for them to tide over these issues. Okay, so for Scorpios, it's going to be a very interesting year, because you have one area of your life is looking good, because professionally, personally, that could be something very positive happening, but there could be also something that is happening at the home which can bring in a lot of challenges. And also probably your spouse needs you. Okay, so that is about the second zodiac sign, the Ascendant Scorpio. And yes, of course, one more thing about the Scorpios that I need to tell you is that mind your children. Your children may require some help in terms of education, or in terms of going abroad or something, something like that. And of course, I talked about your health, and your career is going to undergo a lot of transformations, which can be a lot of painful in the initial moment, but don't worry about it. You will come out of all of these things. Don't worry. Okay. So that is about the Scorpio ascendants. And then finally, today, I'm going to be talking about the last ascendant, and that is Sagittarius. Okay. So let's talk about the Sagittarius ascendant now. If you don't know your ascendant, I told you what to do. You go to greenstonelova.com. There you will see something called as free horoscopes. Go there, enter your birth details there. You will see something mentioned as ASC, and the zodiac sign that you find against that is your ascendant. Okay. So now let's talk about the Sagittarius Ascendant. Okay. The Sagittarius Ascendant people are going to be having a very good year. This is a good year for the Sagittarius Ascendant people because you have like some interesting planets which are very well placed. You have this, very strong planet in the second house. You have very strong planet in the fifth house. So it's going to be a rocking year for you. Okay, let's look at what is in store for you. Okay, so for first of all, I want to tell you something that in the last decade or so, you must have felt, like something like something which has been a burden on you. It's like somebody was sitting on you. You're a person, but on you, someone else is sitting on you. So what happens then? You're not able to be at your best, isn't it? So in the last decade or so, you would have had this feeling that I'm not able to be at my best. Why? Because I'm not able to utilize all the energy, my passion, and my intellectual capabilities, my abilities, my skills. I was not able to use well, and also I was not getting that the limelight which I deserve. You were not being able to do all of these things. Why? Because there was one of your very important planet was in a very weak position in your first house. First house means persona. So as a person, okay, you went through a lot of troubles. Now, I'll tell you what, you have been finally liberated, okay, and you can, because the planet has moved away from your first house, and then now it has gone into your second house, and there it is positive for you. And the second house means what? The second house means money. Okay, so what it means is that this year is going to be a very, very good year for making money for you. Okay, Sagittarius Ascendant people. And if you're a person who's doing anything to do with a foreign country, keep your eyes open, keep your channels open, do everything that you can do to ensure that you're getting money from outside. Okay, so you can have a lot of money coming in from foreign countries. So you need to keep a watch on that. Otherwise, if you're a person who wants to get into an entrepreneurial way, then this is a year for you to go. This is a good time for you to do that. So go ahead and do that. And your income source is going to improve. So which means that you need to keep your eyes and ears open towards all sorts of opportunities. If you want to build your profile, if you want to build your, let's say, you want to have a wealth creation happening, okay, I would say that this is the year for you to plan it. Anything about money. So the focus is completely on money in this year, in this decade, okay, specifically in this year, because this is the year when you're going to be really starting to do those things, okay. And of course, it comes with a warning, okay, for people who are born in these years, okay. So people who have a Pluto in a weaker position, it's going to be a little difficult because you have Pluto weak in the chart, and it's going to enter into your second house. Okay. Now, second house means what? Second house means money, and you may find it difficult to. You may have some troubles there. So, you may even have money draining away. You may even have money going away. You may even have some sort of expenses happening. Be very careful. Exactly the opposite thing. Be very careful about money. Don't go into a business. Okay, don't go into any kind of an entrepreneurial work. Be very careful about all of these things. Okay, so that is something that you need to know. So monetarily, you need to be very, very careful if your Pluto is weak in your chart, because money can become an issue. Okay. And so investments, be careful. Giving money to somebody else, be careful. Don't start your own business. If specifically, be careful about the losses that you can make. Your money can go up and down. Okay, then don't put money into any speculative stuff. Be careful. Okay, so that is one. And then the second thing we're going to talk about is that there's going to be a lot of focus on your fifth house. Okay, the fifth house means what? Fifth house means arts, creativity, fashion, media, entertainment. Fifth house means fame, name, popularity. Fifth house means success, glory, and it also can come from your third house abilities, which can mean talking, communicating, writing, all of that stuff. So you can sort of, I would say, get liberated, get open, Go ahead and do the talking, go and do the communication. If at all you want to go into anything which will give you the limelight, which will put you into the media, which will put you into focus, do all of that stuff. Okay. So you can just go ahead and utilize your power, your intellectual power, your communication skills, whatever you have within you, whatever you feel are your positive qualities. This is time for you to go and unleash all of those things, because you can actually become popular in that area of work. Okay. Yes, of course, there are people who will have the Uranus in a weaker position. So I would say that, I would suggest that, you need to be a little careful, because you may get into situations where you may get into some sort of a problem with somebody. Okay. You may say something which can be misconstrued. You can get into situations where, you may just be maligned for some reason. You may get into, one more thing is that, remember that fifth house also indicates love and romance. So people who have a Uranus in a stronger position, so which means whatever a Uranus is should, if you don't fall in those years, Uranus is decently well placed. Then in that case, there can even be some love, some romance coming in your life. But then if you have a Uranus in a weaker position, then you may get into a love or a romance which can be a problem, which can bring you some sort of a worry or a frustration, or you may get into some sort of a sticky wicket. Be very careful in those things. You can be maligned for some reason. Okay. And generally speaking, okay, this year is going to be a year where be very careful with the law. Okay. The legal matters you need to be very careful about. Your spouse may require some attention. Okay. Your spouse may, like spouse, or I would say your life partner, okay, would require some attention. Probably, whatever you're doing is not going down well with your spouse or a partner, and the partner needs you. Okay. So be there for them. Okay. And the last thing probably I would say is that, something back home. Your mom, suppose you are living in town in the city, but probably back home, your mom is there, who is alone, who needs you, who wants you to talk to her. Okay, maybe in the entire year, you didn't do much about her. Probably this is time for you to go and meet her. Okay. Probably this is time for you to go and meet, talk to your friends. Okay. And of course, you also have a planet in the sixth house, which also indicates that there could be a lot of work which can come up. You'll get a lot of opportunities. So money opportunities is something that you need to be keeping yourself open to in this year. Okay. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for all the three ascendants. Okay. And tomorrow, once again, I'm going to be talking to you about the rest of the three ascendants: Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So till then, see you then. Okay, take care of yourself, and बहुत जल्दी मिलेंगे. Thank you. Thank you, people, for watching.